Is it a plant? Is it an animal? Is it both? You know they could talk to each other? Buy them. Use them. Love them. Hey, it's Caesar with the Food52 Test Kitchen, and today I am making a one-pan meal that also happens to be plant-based. Today we're making a Za'atar lion's mane mushroom steak with couscous and herb salad. And I'm making everything today in this stove 8.5-inch deep fry pan. So this is what a lion's mane looks like. They're pretty big. They come in different sizes, but I think the bigger the better for something like this, especially a steak. Here's another one. And sometimes on the bottom of these, you kind of just get this like, I guess root. And it's really easy to take off. You could literally just like peel it off. It comes off pretty easily. I'm going with the big boy today. Today I'm cooking everything in this 8.5-inch stove deep fry pan. I love this stove for one-person meals. Everything can be done in one pan. So let's go ahead and just hit it with a little olive oil. Nice and hot. How is this gonna turn into a steak? I'll show you. And with something like this, like something flat, you could even use another stove on top. You wanna press it down, so don't be scared. There is a lot of liquid in a lion's mane. So you kind of want to press it down for around 5 minutes per side. And basically what this is doing is we're compacting the mushroom. So that's what's going to really give it its meat-like texture. I'm not going to say it tastes like meat. It tastes like a mushroom. But the texture is really gratifying, and I think that's what creates that meat association. But if I had to compare it to a meat, I would say it almost kind of tastes like chicken. So you want to keep it over like medium-high heat as you do this. Again, if you have another pot, you can place the other pot on top, put something heavy inside of it. Some people keep a brick in their kitchen, wrapped in aluminum for things like this. And if you see here, as I press, it's releasing liquid. It's releasing a lot of water. This is the best tool for this. This like burger smasher. I decided to keep this entire meal plant-based. I'm sure many of you are shocked, but I actually do really like to eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of mushrooms. I don't need to eat meat every day, honestly. And I think this is a great alternative for someone that's kind of missing that meat-like texture, especially that of a steak. This is definitely cheaper than buying a nice steak. But I don't think you have to compare the two. I think both can exist. Both can be delicious. Not everything has to be a meat alternative. It could just be a really good mushroom. All right, so it's getting pretty flat. A little more olive oil. Mushrooms are sponges, so it's gonna soak up some of that oil, which is gonna make it extra delicious. Don't get weirded out as it releases liquid. It's not gonna end up being dry. It's still gonna be really juicy. There we go. Nice. Ready? This is an extra juicy one. It's just like a steak. It's gonna splatter a little bit. Yo, mushrooms are crazy. Is it a plant? Is it an animal? Is it both? Is it neither? I mean, it's its own. It's its own family, right? You know they could talk to each other? They can like communicate with each other. Now, if you notice, I didn't season it. Now I'm gonna start seasoning it. So on this first side that I flipped over, hit it with a good amount of salt, pepper. I'm feeling a little Middle Eastern, so I'm gonna also hit it with some Za'atar. Za'atar is toasted sesame seeds, dried oregano, dried thyme, sumac, marjoram. It can vary depending on the country, but that's kind of the gist of it. This one's really good. Pressing down, and also pressing those seasonings into it as well. All right, and if you feel like your pan is a little dry, just add a little more olive oil. So I'm gonna flip it one more time so I could get seasonings on this part. Same thing, little salt, black pepper, good amount, our Za'atar. so now, just like a steak, I'm gonna baste it. So I've got some garlic cloves, and here I have some plant-based butter. You can use regular butter if you're not worried about keeping it completely plant-based. Our garlic, our plant butter. Now we're good. All this good stuff on the bottom, I'm keeping that. Do not clean your pan out. All right, let's talk about couscous. So today, I'm gonna pair this with some pearl couscous. This is a little bigger than what most people think of when they think couscous. Usually people think of the Moroccan couscous, which is very small. Pearl couscous, obviously bigger. It's gonna be chewier. I'm a big fan of it. And the stars of the couscous are going to be garlic chives. I know everyone loves a ramp. Ramps are delicious, but ramps are only around a few weeks out of the year. They can be kind of pricey. Garlic chives, equally delicious. I think equally interesting. And you can find these year round, especially in an Asian grocer. I'm gonna take a few garlic chives. And the flavor of these is, it's like a chive that's a little garlicky. I don't know what to say. Just cut the bottoms off. And with these, you don't have to cut these like into tiny little pieces the way you would regular chives. I kind of like them kind of big. Especially in stir fries, like when this is used in Chinese cuisine, they're cut nice big pieces. So I got my garlic chives and I have some celery. I was lucky enough to find this really beautiful celery at the farmer's market. Local celery here in New York is really thin. You can actually even find celery like this, again, also in like an Asian or Chinese market. Sometimes this is called Chinese celery. I've seen it referred to as. And another thing I really love about this celery is the leaves. And we're gonna use these leaves to make a nice herb salad. So I feel like all too often people think of celery just as like a small component of a recipe, but celery is really delicious, and I think you can really lean into celery and make celery the star, especially if it's celery like this that has such a strong celery flavor. So my celery's cleaned. Just take off the rough little bottoms here. I think I'll go at a diagonal. If you were like just making a soup or something, or a stew, use the leaves, chop the leaves up along with the celery. I hate when people throw away the celery leaves. Such a waste. Has so much flavor. The leaves taste like celery. I'm gonna put my pan back on the flame. I'm gonna go about medium. And we still have all those really delicious mushroom drippings and seasonings at the bottom of this pan, and I want that, so don't get rid of it. Gonna add some olive oil. And to my olive oil, I'm gonna add turmeric and smoked paprika. So it's really important to bloom your spices. It's just really gonna wake everything up. I've got my 5 teaspoon. Nice, now I'm ready for my garlic chives and my celery. All right, just for a few seconds. Now we're gonna go in with our couscous. Give it a little toast. Get it nice and coated in all of that spiced olive oil. And the color is already so beautiful on this. All right, now in with any vegetable bouillon or vegetable bouillon paste. Again, I'm sticking with the theme here. And if you notice, I'm not adding any salt just because the bouillon has a good amount of salt. All right, so I have about a cup of couscous here. For a cup of couscous, I'm going in with a cup and a half of hot water. Okay, we're at a nice simmer. I'm just gonna cover it up. And this is also gonna keep our mushroom warm. I highly recommend, these little quarter sheet trays are workhorses. Like, do yourself a favor, get yourself a pair or more. I use these for everything. Every professional kitchen has a million sheet trays of all sizes, but I think universally this is the best size for home. I'm gonna cover it up and check on it in about 10 minutes. So as our couscous is cooking, let's talk about our herb salad. So I thought this would all pair really nicely with like a bitter herb salad. I'm doing equal parts parsley leaves and celery leaves. To our little bowl. You'll find these really simple bitter salads a lot in like Middle Eastern food, which I really, really like. You can hit it with a little salt, some pepper. Ooh. Thanks, Pujol. Also gonna go in with juice of half a lemon, little EVOO, and I actually really like a little shaved carrot. I think it adds a little sweetness. Let's give the salad a little toss. And now with your vegetable peeler, just gonna shave some nice long ribbons of carrot. Farther into the carrot you get, the thicker the pieces are gonna be, or the wider the pieces are gonna be rather. I do this all the time actually with carrot. I mean, do you want to bite into like a big piece of carrot when you eat a salad? No, right? You just want this delicate little ribbon. Toss that together. Let's add some of the garlic chives in here too. Uncooked. Just a little bias. There we go. Garlic chives, buy them. Use them. Love them. This is gorgeous. I mean, this on some like chicken or fish, fire. Ah. Nice. You do want to check on your couscous a bit. Unlike rice, where you don't want to check on your rice and you just want to leave it alone, couscous, you can check on it here and there. Give it a stir. Make sure nothing gets too stuck. Even though I do like the little bits that get stuck on the bottom. Give this a taste. Delicious. Killing my heat. Now we are ready to assemble. All right, ready to cut into our steak. Mushroom steak. Like, if you look this looks like meat. Like, look. Look at that grain. And you see it's juicy still, too. Let's get pretty with it. Let's assemble. I think we're just gonna put some slices on top. This will feed two really nicely, but I think meal for one if you're really hungry. Our herb salad on top. Well, there you have it. We got to take a pic for the website, so bear with me. Hold on. All right, we'll see you when we're ready to taste. She's photographed. She had her moment. Our Za'atar lion's mane steak with couscous and herb salad. Hope you try it. Hope you make your one-pan meal. This is delicious. It's plant-based. It's easy. Mia's too busy whipping stuff to have a taste with me, so get a little piece of steak, some couscous, some salad. That's delicious. There's a lot of deep flavors happening here. A lot of different textures. Feels like you spent all day cooking it, but came together pretty quickly. It's just like some waiting, really, between like pressing down the mushroom and waiting for your couscous to cook. But this all comes together in like half an hour, realistically. I really hope you try it. I really hope lion's mane mushrooms are added to your rotation. I hope you get this beautiful little stove. Like, comment, subscribe. Link in description. Down below. See you later.